Daisy, the highlight of the year when we call the footy is the AAMI Clangers. And we always just get a bit nervous to see who's going to feature on it. And you've just sifted through all the best bits for the year, and you're going to take it away. Come up with your top few.
I just want to say first, it's been nice working with you guys. All right, I've enjoyed the year together. I feel like this could be the end.
You will feature, Jay, but look, as someone who features heavily, and it's a tough gig being in the radio, as you've just proven there. Sometimes you forget your own name, you forget what to do, you get distracted. You have to be on every time. So the key to the AAMI Clangers, it's a brilliant segment, but the key to broadcasting, Joey, and you know this, and I'm only learning it, but I'm just sort of picking it apart and trying to take some notes, but when you start off a broadcast, you've got to start off strong. Start really strong with a nice, crisp opener.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Football. Sorry, Rod, headset.
So Howie's put the wrong headset on there. The openers come, the music's rolling, and just nothing.
So that makes me feel better when the pros as good as Howie, when even they muck it up, you feel a bit better about yourself.
Yes.
Well, that's the beauty of it. We've got the best talent at Triple M. There's no doubt about that. You look across at the other boxes and they're all envious of it. But once you get past the opener, you obviously get into calling the game. And, well, a couple of the blokes who call games, BT, of course, he's been here for a long time, institution at Triple M, institution in the AFL.
Gun.
And sometimes I think that history just plays on his mind a little bit.
But Jack Hawkins has taken a big divot out of Marvel.
Jack Hawkins.
Did I say Hawkins? Rewalk.
Just go back 40 years, Brian.
He's just wandered back into the 70s, as he's called that one, of a young Brian calling a young Jack Hawkins. And then, of course, it's hard. You do your homework, you do your player ID. You've got to be very good because it happens very fast. And there's players who look a lot like other players. Obviously, Langdon and Hunt from the Ds, but sometimes it just doesn't quite work out.
Got the ball out towards Fritsch. He's a good user. Right foot ball inside forward 50. And Fritsch is on the end of his own kick. How quick was he? The player that kicked it to him was Langdon.
So, Browny's called Fritsch, and then he's just wheeled on the right and found Fritsch inside 50.
That is the worst as a caller. It's the only time you can really stuff up is when you get the name wrong and it goes to that person because you can't hide then. You have to go with it.
And I'm sure sort of other stations on the call, they just sort of let it go. You know, they don't say anything a bit awkward. Not on Triple M.
It's picked up on. Don't worry about that.
That's the funny thing, because as soon as you say something, there's almost a pause. You know you've said it, and then the giggle starts, and that's when you know you're absolutely cooked. And look, we've got boundary riders. You do a fantastic job, of course. We've got Abby Holmes, we've got Robbo, we've got the best in the business. Sarah Ollie's down there. Rabsy does a bit of work down there. And
excellent.
I assume, I've never done it, but do you have to be clear and concise? Is that the best way to go about it?
You try and keep it short and sharp, Daisy, but there's a lot of things going on down there. You know, you're so close to the ground and, you know, there's fans around you. They can put you off at times. So the degree of difficulty sometimes goes up a little bit.
Well, I just assume that projecting a nice, clear voice is the key.
On the bench today is Loney, McKenzie, Bytel and Caulfield for the Saints, and for the Eagles it's Brander, Cole, Jones and Petruccelli. No Luke Shuey today.
Bit of duck croak about you there.
Still going through puberty.
Look, it happens every now and then. It's just when you don't need it. But the other one, there's so many names, and you got to get your words out. And as you said, you got to get them out quick. And sometimes it's bloody tough.
Jay-Z.
North Melbourne could be a man down here, boys. It's Aidan Boner hobbling to the bench. He's got a lower leg issue.
I'm glad that Aidan Hobber didn't have a boner. It would have been an absolute disaster down there on the bench. And not just for him, but also his footy club. I'm not sure how you approach that from an injury point of view.
Well, English not necessarily my first language, Daisy, so I had some
look, I'm with you on that one. It's tough. You get your words wrong. And well, sometimes when you get thrown to at the boundary, you know, it's a listening medium. You've got to bring some colour, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Let's head to Greg Blewett for Bob Jones Seabass. Got nothing for you, mate. Good on you, Bluey.
That didn't happen. He didn't.
That is flat out.
You've got to come up with something.
You've just got to make
it up on the spot.
Anything.
The rain I predicted isn't coming. Oh, so-and-so's done it. He just went with that. Got nothing for you. Couldn't give us stuff.
Make it up.
Yeah, so that covers off the boundary riders. And as I said, you know, we need to provide colour. So, you know, your words are your colour. That's your instrument. You've got to come up with the bit of mayonnaise on everything just to bring the listener in and make it a great experience. And sometimes in doing so, you can find yourself in a bit of a twist. And, well, this one's a ripper.
Taylor Liberatore Senior sitting in the stands. I had the pleasure of sitting in front of Tony at a Bulldogs Hawthorn game many years ago, and I won't be sitting in front of him again. He's a very aggressive supporter, Tony.
And how long has he operated as Tony Liberatore Senior?
Well, since he had a
son called Tom.
Liberatore
Right. Just doesn't stack up for me, Brownie, that. Just doesn't stack up, Guru.
Good. Very good.
You can actually hear Brownie's brain ticking over there thinking,
Since he
hang on,
had a
son
son.
names.
Yeah. So he's obviously gone with the great story of sitting in front of Tony Liberatore at a game of footy and how much he gets into it, but just didn't realise that he doesn't roll with the senior. and as you said, Jay, when we have the English language, there's words that sound like they should mean something that don't necessarily mean exactly what you think they do.
We haven't seen that sort of forward pressure. His dynamicism, Burn, the ability to change direction and get after a smaller player. It's just, honestly, from last year, what you see to this year, it's chalk and cheese.
So I've gone with dynamicism there.
That's a word, isn't it?
Well, it
Jay,
is.
so you're the journalist. Is dynamicism a word?
It can be dynamic.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought it was. And I actually think I stole this off you from
Yeah,
a
I
year
reckon
before.
I reckon I've used that one.
Well, it's actually the theory that phenomena of matter or mind are due to the action of forces rather than to motion of matter.
Yeah.
So not quite someone being dynamic as I thought. I'm not quite that smart. So anyway, obviously that's how we work our way through the broadcast. But the key, if you start strong, you just have to finish stronger. That's the key. Wrap it up nice, like a beautiful present under the tree. Have it nicely wrapped, just beautiful, clean cut edges. And we do it the best here at Triple M. There's no doubt about it.
To everybody helped us out, put this together. Out to the end of the art. I'm going to finish off with something. Triple M rocks footy.
Did he have a mini stroke while he was there at the end of that?
We've heard of Brownie a few times in that seat.
Look, I had a lot to go through, which was the beauty of it, but it's just brilliant. And I love the fact that he said it, he stuffed it up.
Yeah.
And then just went, no, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks. But he didn't go back and try and fix it, just left that as a big mess. And the other one, of course, it's very, very strange times here in Melbourne. Of course, COVID times. And,
Tough.
We're lucky that we can come to work, and sometimes being in that environment, you relax a little bit, you forget what your friends are doing, and well, sometimes you cast your mind actually to what they're doing and bring it on air, and sometimes that's not great in these certain times.
It is amazing. Libba, people at home would be sitting and be astounded. I know Bobby sitting out there and watching with the boys in the shed out there and a few girls. They wouldn't be happy with it.
I'm not sure you're allowed to do that.
Oh, no, they're probably not. No, it's just Bobby sitting home by himself. Oh, no, I think they all live there. Goes white. Hunter, sorry. I hope the old blue light's not flashing out there shortly.
That was only a couple of weeks ago. Daisy and I were doing specials, and that was very, very funny because not only did BT name his first name and surname of his mate, he said the suburb that he lived, and he said he was sitting in the garage with his mates.
His mates and a couple of girls.
That's the best one.
Yeah, sometimes you realise you've said too much.
And that is it. So what better way to wrap it up than that?
Behaviour, by the way.
No, we certainly don't. It's certainly tough times, but obviously when you're broadcasting to a national audience, it's not great just to lag your mates in.
Maybe they were in Perth. They might have been
I think that's definitely where they were. I think that's where he said. I think there's a Dandenong in Perth. There's no doubt about that. But that has been it for me for the AAMI Clangers. We obviously thank AAMI for their support throughout the season.
Hang on. I've got a rundown here, and there's one more AAMI Clanger that you just conveniently have left out.
Hang on.
Yeah, I've got the rundown. There's one more, Jay-Z.
Go, Joey.
Let's just take a listen.
I'm not sure if you've seen the fixture change for tomorrow, Baz,
Yes.
but Gold Coast Essendon
Bombers,
moved down there. It's the shortest ever gaps between games at Cardinia Park being 44 days. The previous closest to that was 10,177 back in 1993.
Absolutely butchered that. Please, I see Daisy a lot on social being highlighted with all the good things he does for Triple M. Please cut that 15 seconds up. And if anyone can make any sense of what he just said, I will stand nude in the boardroom at Triple M.
I'm still not sure what you were trying to talk about, but BT was not going to let that one pass
He
up.
didn't, and I went back to read and I knew I was no chance of getting it out. So I just tried to stand by that I got it correct, and I was trying to put it back. Anyway, it's a tough game, this. We do it very well from time to time, but at Triple M, if you can't laugh at yourself, you shouldn't be here.